All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. 365, we making a plays. You talking the game, get you to the days. We're high in the court, the dime in the lane. Variety topics, living the same. All presentation, sports information. In the airways, taking the nation. All sport, all plays, like working your faces. Grace at the field, so tie the laces. All sports, all plays.
Welcome. This is Keeping It Real. My name is Ray Cruz. I am your host. I have Freddie on my right. Down below me, I have Andre. And on the right of him, I have Sean. How y'all doing tonight?
Blessed to be alive and ready to talk this talk.
I'm doing well.
I'm not in a very good mood tonight, but I'm glad to be here with the fellas. What's going on, gentlemen?
Since Sean, this is your first show with us, go ahead and introduce yourself to our audience tonight.
How you guys doing? My name's Sean Marsh. I'm a huge Ravens fan. Pretty much all Baltimore, all Maryland sports. Born and raised here in Baltimore, Maryland. Just huge on NFL, but I dapper into every sport except lacrosse and hockey. But basketball, NFL, college basketball, college football, we can talk it all. So I'm ready. I'm here. I'm finally on a show. I'm ready to go.
My man said we do football and crab cakes.
That's what we do.
Yeah, they do it up there because I used to be stationed up in Washington, D.C. area when I was in the Navy. So I lived there for about 4.5 years. I don't like the traffic. And I heard the traffic still works, but my brother still lives up there in Washington, D.C. So
D.C. traffic's horrible.
Yeah, the Arlington traffic is terrible. The Indianapolis traffic, man.
But Freddie, since you said you were so mad, tell everybody why you're mad.
Because the Giants doing Giants things, making mistakes. We'll get into it a little bit later in the show. I mean,
well, we got the playoffs. We all got all the teams set up from Sunday. So now let's talk about the NFL playoff and start with the NFC. So who? Let's talk with Orr here with his Cowboys and stuff. So go ahead, man.
Oh man, you already know how I'm feeling. Right now, I feel as though that the way that the matchups just turned out, it's working in our favor, to be honest with you. The way the draw came out as far as the Cowboys opening up against San Francisco, I think it's probably everybody's on paper saying it's not a favorable matchup. I actually love the matchup. Who would I rather not see in the playoffs rather than I'm gonna choke it up Jimmy G? You know, Jimmy G's he's going to do what he does. He's going to choke every time. He's in the playoffs. We're not worried about that. This is not Jimmy G of a couple of years ago. This is Jimmy, when am I going to turn the ball over, G? If it's not for that running game, which I think Micah Parsons could sit back and track them down everywhere in the field, I think this is the best matchup. As far as going into the weekend, one of the games I'm most excited to watch I'm looking forward to this Eagles and Buccaneers game, man. Everybody's writing the Eagles off. For something in my heart is telling me, man, they got a shot. They legitimate got a shot. I think with those injuries between, I don't think Fournette's going to be able to come back 100% healthy. Everybody knows when you got that core muscle injury, it's not something you come right back to 100%. Godwin's gone. I never will doubt the GOAT, but I'm not going to sit there and write the Eagles off. And I'm just excited, man. It's going to be a good football weekend, and I'm ready for the Cowboys to honestly show what I've been predicting them to do all year, win the damn thing.
All right, Freddie, you go ahead and take your shot at the NFC playoff.
listen here, man. Dre, you don't believe that. I can see it through your face when you said that. You did not sit up here and say that you feel comfortable when it's about the Dallas Cowboys in the playoffs. I mean, stop it. Pump the brakes. Just a touch. Well, let's not forget, we are talking about the Cowboys, who this year only have 2 wins against playoff teams. 2! Only 2. And that's the Patriots and that's the Philadelphia Eagles. So let's not sit up here and act like you just a powerhouse. I mean, I understand you got Dak Prescott, you got Amari Cooper, you got CeeDee Lamb, you got Ezekiel Elliott, you got Pollard in the crew. Then you go on the defensive end, you got Lawrence, you got Gregory, you got Parsons, you got the defense. But let's not sit up here and act like the 49ers is a slouch as well. Because
You
we
just gave
know
me every reason why they're going to win.
I'm talking. You sit in your place while I'm talking, sir. Now, we're not going to act like this 49ers team do not play defense as well, that they're going to make Dak Prescott feel uncomfortable. A quarterback who has been struggling as of late. Let's not sit up here and act. Your Dallas Cowboys, this is a game that, let me rephrase this. The Cowboys should win this game, but on paper, they are the better team, but this is the setup.
So,
This
real quick
is
question
the
before I let Sean
setup
get it.
for
Real quick
you
question
to
before I
go.
let you get in there, Sean. You do realize what Dak's QBR is in the past three, and it's only 3 playoff games, right?
You talking to me or Sean?
No, I'm talking to you, Mr. Fred.
Yeah, of course. That was previous. What about what's going to happen now? What about how he's been playing as of late?
It's so if we're going to state that. What has Jimmy G done of late for make you feel confident that he's going to be able to do what he's supposed to do against the Cowboys?
Sean, my friend Dre, he have a bad time hearing. Did I ever say Jimmy G's name when I mentioned the San Francisco 49ers?
No.
Oh, okay. That's all. That's all I had. That's all I had. That's all I had to add, you know.
Sean, set the record straight for my man.
So I do believe that both of the games that Andre alluded to, the Cowboys and the 49ers, I do think it's an interesting matchup. What's interesting to me is obviously the 49ers run game is what they rely on heavily. They're going to have to match. I'm assuming they're going to match Trayvon Diggs or Deebo Samuel, unless he's in the backfield, obviously running the ball.
Right.
So it's just going to. I think the Cowboys win by 7 to 10 range. I don't think it's going to be close. People aren't talking about Jimmy G has a bum thumb as well. He almost didn't even play last week. And I believe that the Cowboys left Dak Prescott in last game against the Eagles when the Eagles rested most of their starters. The Cowboys let Dak Prescott stay in the game to catch a stride. I believe he had 5 touchdowns last game. So I do believe that the Cowboys caught a little stride at the end of that last game. I believe it's going to go into this game, and I believe the Cowboys win. Not easily, but I think it's by 7 or so. And with the Eagles and Bucks, I just Tom Brady's experience. He already played that team once on a short week. I think it was a 6-point win on a Thursday night in Philly. Tom Brady's experience, he's already played them once. He's going to play them again, already knowing their schemes. I think they win by 7 to 10. Eagles are the best running team, but the Bucks are the 3rd best run defense, I believe. So it's going to be strength against strength. I think Bucks experience wins that. I think the most intriguing NFC game is actually the Rams and Cardinals. So it'll be interesting. It'll be an interesting week.
I 100% agree with you, man. Like it's going to be. I think this is going to be one of those playoffs we sit back 3-4 years from now and be like, I did not expect this to happen. I'm actually on the AFC. I'm actually interested to see if they're going to activate Derrick Henry sometime this week. We really didn't. I don't know if we got touched too much on the AFC, man. I'm interested to see how long this Raiders can ride this wave, man.
Hold on, sir. You're not going to say something without my comment. You're right. If the Cowboys some way, somehow find a way and get God's green earth finds a way to win a Super Bowl, oh my God, I'm gonna be. You know what?
It's not even if when they win the Super Bowl, I just want to be next to you.
They're going to have to do one thing that they can never do, and that's beat Aaron Rodgers.
And be honest with you,
my brother. Hey, shout out to the viewer out here. Please follow us. You can watch a lot of our great content that we have here at the All Sports All Place Network. We appreciate that.
Definitely appreciate the follows. Definitely appreciate that, guys.
Yeah, the only thing y'all haven't mentioned about this whole playoffs thing is the format of the playoffs. One team gets a bye now. How do y'all like this? Y'all like this format
I love
of
it.
the playoff?
I love it. It makes the regular season worth it.
Yeah,
You
I
know,
think
I feel like a lot of times that second team that might get that extra bye, they might rest players, and then all of a sudden, I mean, it happened to the Cowboys a couple years ago. I think it was maybe Dak's first year or Zeke's first year. They got one of the buys, came into that next game and was real lackluster. The whole offense wasn't. I mean, now that you guys have no choice but to play, or you could sit them, you just learn from experience, man. That extra buy sometimes you don't want to stop a train when it's rolling like that, and that's what I think they got right now.
to the
yeah,
viewer out there, my bad. To the viewer out there, please let us know. So would you be interested in talking hockey? We're looking to add a hockey show to the network. It's actually in the works, by the way.
Absolutely.
yeah. And we're talking about that. They really didn't have to change the second place team in each conference get a bye. They could have added another team for the wild card, and then just kept that same format, just adding one more team to that wild card thing to have it evenly. You know,
I love the schedule, man. I mean, what football Saturday, Sunday, and Monday? Whew,
yeah.
man.
I mean, but yeah, taking off this, the 49ers and Dallas Cowboys have history in the playoffs. We know that what happened with one of the 49ers guys go and sits on the T on the star and all that. So will we see that coming? Will we see that coming? The 49ers win. And will we
I
see them go dance in the middle of the field?
I
I
got two
hope
words for
we
you.
do.
George Teague them.
We probably won't see it, but I would love to see it. Anything disrespectful when it comes to the Cowboys, I'm all for it.
I don't see anybody on the 49ers roster doing that right now.
I don't see them.
I don't know.
I
How about the
definitely don't
tight
see them
end,
winning the
Kittle?
game.
Nah, he's too nice. He's too nice of a guy. He ain't doing that.
Nah, he's definitely not.
Yeah. But you talking about the Eagles and the Bucks. Mania in Philadelphia, full swing. We know where he was in Jacksonville. So, I mean, this is going to be a one-hit wonder this year for him, or will he just make it? Well, or will he give the Eagle a chance to beat the Bucks?
Well, I mean, he's not even starting. Jalen's starting. Minshew Mania. He tried to do his Nick Foles thing, but actually, in all reality, this team is going to be led by Foles, man. I think with him being able to use that run pass option, it's going to be able to keep that defense at bay, man. He's going to be able to literally keep them on their toes. And if the Eagles keep doing what they were doing in the second half of the season and basically having the run game dictate where their offense goes, they got a fighter's punch, man. He's got a fighter's punch. You keep Tom Brady off the field, man. That's the best weapon you got.
Not every team has
Y'all,
like the Bucks.
go ahead, Sean.
The Bucks have Devin White. Not every team has a Devin White that can spy Jalen Hurts, and not many teams have a linebacker with that type of speed and pass rush. So it's going to be an interesting matchup.
It's going to be interesting. I'm not, like I said, I'm by any means. I'm not saying the Eagles win, but
right.
I'm saying they have a good chance.
Right.
Put it like this: for betting wise, the line's at 8.5 right now. There's no way the Buccaneers cover that 8.5.
I wouldn't even touch it.
I'm picking the Philadelphia Eagles.
Was you going money line or just with the points?
I'm just going with the win, and I'm gonna tell you why. It's too late in the season for Tom Brady to find another piece. That Antonio Brown situation to flip the script on him. Let's not sit up here and act like Tom Brady and Mike Evans have the best chemistry. They don't.
No, you're absolutely right.
He liked to go to Godwin. He liked to go to Gronkowski and AB. And I'm not sure when we depend on an older Rob Gronkowski, in a run game, who your best back is banged up, going against a Philadelphia team who's more inspired, by the way, to play football because they're in a position that nobody expected them to be in. So I will not be surprised if Philadelphia finds a way to win this game.
Here's a key factor with the Buccaneers, man. If they're able to go and you can be able to appreciate this shit, this stuff, Sean. The way the Ravens run their offense, they're going to have to basically transition into that type of offensive setting at this point.
Right.
You're down the wide receivers that you're down. But the Buccaneers have the luxury of having O.J. Howard, Gronkowski. They're going to have to go 2-3 tight ends and really dominate the line of scrimmage. And we all know that defensive line for the Eagles line of scrimmage, front seven is nothing to play with. But
Right.
I feel as though that offensive line, whoever wins that battle of the line of scrimmage, is going to win this game.
Right. So what makes a team like the Ravens per se and the Eagles even dangerous is when you can run the ball effectively like the Eagles
Absolutely.
can. You keep Tom Brady off of the field. You keep your defense rested. The idea is to limit Tom Brady's possessions because that's how you're going to beat a Tom Brady, a Aaron Rodgers, a Patrick Mahomes, any of them high-powered offenses. That's how you're going to beat them. That's the formula on the road, especially in the playoffs. You have to be able to run the ball and keep elite quarterbacks off the field. And another key thing that really helps the Eagles is people don't talk about Darius Slay enough. So Darius Slay is going to be matched up on Mike Evans. And I'm pretty sure Darius Slay was the
He's
top-rated
locking
corner.
him down.
He was the top-rated corner in NFL this year. So it's going to have to be a Gronk, a Cameron Braid, a O.J. Howard, or like even a Rashard Perriman or Tyler Johnson is going to have to come up. But we've seen Tom Brady win throwing – he could throw to any of us on this panel right now and win probably.
Absolutely.
It's
The option is me, by the way. So let's just keep it real.
The only option is you at this point, Freddie.
Yeah, but if you watch that Sunday game against the Carolina Panthers, I watched the whole entire game. Perriman was eating the Panthers' defense up. So, I mean, he's getting the core with Perriman. And if you keep Mike Evans locked down, Perriman gets hot, that's going to open up that middle, and that's going to cause problems for the Eagles because the Eagles really can't stop anybody if they get that middle open with the tight ends and stuff like that because they have no line that can match up with some of these tight ends that this package is going to be running for the Bucks. So.
And that's the only fear that I have with the Eagles. Once you get past the Fletcher Cox and the front four, the Eagles linebackers are suspect. They got Singletary's out there. They got my son out there. It's bad when it comes down to those Eagles linebackers, man. Those three linebackers are the weakness on that team. And not to mention Gannon, he only runs coverage zones. He doesn't play man to man. He's afraid that he's not going to be able to get to the quarterback, so that's why he runs the zones that he has, and it's actually kind of setting them back. So if again, like I said, if the Buccaneers can adapt to be able to use those 2-3 tight ends and be able to execute over across the middle, man, that's going to be their key, man. It's going to be the kick.
Let's transition over to the other side, the AFC side. You know, my Jaguars are not in it. My Jaguars won their Super Bowl when they knocked the Colts out of the playoff contention on this, 8 straight victories at home at TIA Bank against the Colts. I don't know why I mentioned that because I have a friend that's a Colts fan and he's probably watching, so I'm just getting on his case about it. But anyway, so now let's look at it. We talk about Derrick Henry might be activated. Derrick Henry don't have to be activated until they actually get ready to play. So that's going to hold some attention this week and probably next week when we find out if Derrick Henry will officially play or not for the Titans. So the Titans got the bye. So, but how do y'all see the AFC turning out on this crazy? You got the Chiefs as number 2 seed. You got to go in against the Steelers. Then you got Bills versus the Patriots, and you got the Bengals versus the Raiders. So what matchup intrigues y'all the most in this first round?
I'll let you go, Sean.
The matchup that intrigues me the most, honestly, surprisingly, it might be the Patriots and Bills. I wouldn't want to be the person to play Bill Belichick 3 times in a season now. They've already played twice, the road team winning both times. Bill Belichick's going to scheme you up pretty good to stop your best weapon, which is probably Stephon Diggs or Josh Allen even. But I just don't know if the Patriots have the firepower. I think both of the other games really aren't going to be close. I don't think the Raiders are hot right now, but they're coming off a hard-fought overtime game. The Bengals pretty much got to rest all their key starters, so they're going to be coming off fresh. The Bengals I hate to say it, but the Bengals firepower on offense, they can beat anybody, and they've proved they can beat anybody. So I just think the Bengals are going to win, and then the Steelers aren't even going to be close. They don't have a shot in hell to beat them. So
Yeah.
by default, it's going to be the Bills and Patriots for me.
I feel sorry. My bad. I feel sorry for the Patriots because man, the Bills gonna have that wrapped up. Let's not sit here and act like they did not play in the cold when the wind was crazy. Where I mean, literally, Mac Jones threw the ball what 3 times. I mean, that's something we will never see in the NFL again. So, and let's not act like Mac Jones did not end that season not on a good note. Let's not act like we did not see Mac Jones starting to look like a rookie, And when it comes playoff time, you can't make those mistakes. It's all about winning football games. This Buffalo Bills team play good defense. You have Josh Allen, you have Stephon Diggs, an explosive duo that can get the job done. But just look out for Buffalo because they coming for theirs. They gonna prove to the world, hey, we on our way, and they on their
I
way.
I love what the Bills are doing. I mean, what prior to what Sean McDermott being there, they missed the playoffs 17 straight times.
Yeah.
He's literally been there 5 years, and out of 5 years, they four playoff appearances. So he's definitely transitioned this team into being relevant again. I don't agree with you guys about as far as the Raiders and Bengals game. I really do feel as though the Raiders do have a shot, and the reason why I feel as though they have a shot is because of my man Max Crosby. Max Crosby is a factor on that defensive line. And one thing that we do know in regards to the Cincinnati Bengals is that weakness is that offensive line. And I don't know if you guys remember, man. Remember that first year Carson Wentz? My bad, no pun intended, right? When Carson Palmer dropped back for the Bengals' first playoff game, we all remember that horrific scene. And I just pray that the Bengals can be able to keep that man healthy, man. And it's playoffs. They're rookies. They've never been into this environment before. The pressures of winning a home playoff game. I mean, if you look at the Raiders, man, they've met every adversity they've come across this year. You lost your coach. You lost your number one wide receiver. Your other guys on IG pulling out the guns, bang, bang, shoot them up. You got, people who don't believe in Derek Carr. They've met John Madden. The list goes on as far as the Las Vegas Raiders. Every adversity they met, they hopped across every goal. I can't sit there and say that a rookie wide receiver, an unproven playoff quarterback is going to be able to stop momentum. I got to see it to believe it, and I'm not going to just sit there and say it's an outright blowout. It's going to be a lot closer than what people think it's going to be. And I honestly wouldn't be surprised if the Raiders went outright.
Yeah, but does the Raiders have a corner that can shut down Jamar Chase? Jamar Chase, I don't care what you say. He's a rookie, whatever he is, but he hasn't. It's been proven that he hasn't been stopped in the last 3 weeks.
I think it's.
I mean, the dude's
game.
You're absolutely right. Yeah, he's probably the best wide receiver I've seen come out since Randy Moss. He's literally a game changer. Like I said, the playoffs bring different adversities, different, you see different people come playoff time. And I just want to say, now, mind you, I'm a huge Jamar Chase fan. Huge, love him. Think he's probably going to go down as a Hall of Famer already. Rookie season, he's setting records beyond anything. I just want to say, like, those playoff pressures, man, it's something different, man. Pressure burst pipes, man, and I just want to see if he can be able to meet up to those expectations. I mean, I'm already, Joe Burrow, he's top 5 quarterback in the league, in my opinion. You just got to prove to me at this level right now, can you meet those expectations?
Now, do y'all think the Steelers has any chance against Kansas City?
Yes. What? Hell yes.
No.
I'm just asking.
No.
Asking you a question.
Rick, I didn't even think he was really seriously going to ask that question.
Oh, I was going to ask it. Because I want to see Freddie turn his. I want him to come out of the screen. That's why I asked.
How come Dre?
We're just gonna let Freddie hold the mic on this one because I got it. One time of the show I got to hear the BS, so I'm all ears on this one.
Dre. How come do you think this Pittsburgh Steelers defense can't stand up to contain an offense who struggled most of this year? I mean, that's not. I mean, I understand what the Pittsburgh bring offensively, but defensively, with Mike Tomlin, who's a better coach than Andy Reid. Yes, I've said that. That's not no. That's facts. Tomlin is a better coach than Andy Reid. I mean, a guy that's been in the league 15 years, have no losing records on his resume. Just trying to give that man his respect. He's the second best coach in football today. I mean, it's hands down, man down. That's facts.
I don't know
And
about
then
hands down, but it's
hands
debatable.
down. I mean, yes, Greg, that was 2 weeks ago. But guess what? Just like Bill Belichick, guess what Mike Tomlin doing? He's sitting in there right now just watching his film. Okay, Patrick like to do this. Okay, Tyreek, he does this. Oh, Kelsey, I got you this time. So, listen, I'm not going to say that they should be the favorites. No, of course, the Chiefs should be the favorites. But, yeah.
You can't honestly sit there and in your heart of hearts believe Ben Roethlisberger, who's got cement feet, is going to be able to go into Arrowhead Stadium. I'm gonna be honest with you. I feel as though Kansas City's defense might score more than Seattle. The Steelers' offense, man. They're gonna be looking to take that old man's head apart.
You see, this is what I do. When I get you to dance and you get to stud and do, that's what I do.
Because you know you be making me frustrated with this nonsense, man. You sitting
Greg,
here
you don't believe that.
So for both of you guys on the bottom, I'm a big Denver Broncos fan now. I know we're out of the playoffs, but I'm going to use my team just to prove a point. You realize this season the Denver Broncos were third in the league in scoring defense. There's only been two other teams to score against, to have their opponents score less against them than us. And we're the first team to do that since the 1991 Bears. But our problem with our team is the quarterback. Now, bringing it back to Pittsburgh, they have the same issue. I don't care how well the Pittsburgh's defense is. The Big Ben, this is going to be his last game.
Thank you.
So,
I agree.
So what wins championships? Offense or defense?
Not having a 45-year-old quarterback.
No. Answer the question. Defense or offense?
Both.
Gotta have both.
You have to have both now with how teams.
You gotta have both.
Okay.
The thing that people
next week.
The thing about that game is so lately the Chiefs have actually been running the ball more to set up the pass. I watch a lot of Steelers, obviously being here in Baltimore, they have the games on even when we're not playing. The Steelers defense isn't what people think. Like, they have the players, they have the TJ Watt, the Joe Hayden, the Minka Fitzpatrick. They ain't stopping the run. And if you're not
stop the run.
Stopping play action, they're not stopping Tyreek Hill, they're not stopping McCall Harmon, they're not stopping Travis Kelce, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, they're not stopping any of them. I think it's 34-17, maybe.
I mean, Sean, like, you can agree with me on this one. I think for the past 6-7 weeks they've given up over almost 150 yards rushing the ball. Like, they're not going to be able to. The Steelers can't stop a nosebleeder when it comes down to running on a run defense. All that TJ Watt stuff, that's great for statistical purposes, but when you're sitting there getting a sack to a game, but you're still letting your defense give up 160 yards rushing the ball to Joe Mixon, you know what I mean? They were literally week by week, it was getting worse and worse and worse. They're not built for this right now. They're not built for this next year. They're not. They're lucky they're even in the position that they're in at this point. If it wasn't for the stupid behind Chargers coach not being able to let the time run out, they wouldn't even be here to begin with.
And it's worse than last year. Their defense is worse than it was last year.
Yeah. The Ravens.
Oh my goodness, man. I think their defense replaced the Cowboys' defense of being worse than what it was last year.
Easily. The Ravens pulled two running backs out of retirement home, Devontae Freeman and Latavius Murray, and Latavius Murray ran all over the Steelers last week.
They literally, they had anybody and everybody on the Ravens' offense, and they were running through that team, man. They don't stand a chance, Fred, and you know that. Stop with the blasphemy.
Well, that's what I say about that game right quick here. Pittsburgh has to have short field a lot of times. They got to have like 6 or 7 possession of short field because they're not going to drive the length of the field. I mean, Ben Roethlisberger they could probably drive half the length of the field. Oh, they get to a certain point, they're going to stall out because the team's going to figure it out. He's not mobile no more. So the question is, can the Steelers defense create these turnovers so they can get that short field position?
Right.
Exactly. That's what I was
not.
saying. TJ Watt and the crew is going to make Patrick Mahomes have reminiscence of last year's Super Bowl. That's what's going to happen. Hey, Tomlin's going back to the Super Bowl, and he's watching that film. What made Patrick Mahomes uncomfortable? We're going to make him uncomfortable. He's not standing in the pocket and beating us. He's going to use those legs, and we're going to touch him up from time to time.
The reason why he was uncomfortable last year in the Super Bowl is because he was.
Now, Greg, take your fandom out of here, bro. Take the fan out of the debate, Greg.
It's not a fan. It's being straight.
No. I'm talking about this comment right here, sir.
Oh, I'm sorry. My bad, bro. No, I'm just basically going off of what you just said. That offensive line was not the same in the Super Bowl last year compared to what it is now. They've got studs on that offensive line. They've got 2 rookies that can actually probably be in the Pro Bowl at this point right now in all offensive line. So as far as whatever that Steelers, try to turn the ball over nonsense, that's not happening. This game probably, if there was another game to be played at the same time during the telecast of this game, they would probably switch this game at halftime.
Well, the question is, if TJ Watt gets on the other side of the ball, he can cause havoc because he likes to punch the ball out too. Some sort of like Lawrence Taylor, like to punch the ball out when he's making that sack. If he comes on that blind side, or if they switch him around, because Tomlin's he's a good defensive mind, but Andy Reid's also a good offensive mind. So you got a defensive chess match between the 2 coaches. You got an offensive chess match where where Tomlin's got to figure out. Andy Reid's got to figure out what Tomlin's going to do. But if you get TJ Watt, he gets it loose and he started causing havoc on the other end, that could, the offensive line for Kansas City is not that great.
No, you're absolutely. It's not great, but it's a lot better position than it was last year. Mm-hmm. And to be honest with you, by the time TJ Watt even gets something that's relevant, they might be down 17-0 as it is. We're at a point now with the Steelers where their offense can't keep up enough to be relevant in this game.
Exactly.
We have this on
It's just
recording.
not going to happen. And all those,
we have this on recording.
All those dink and dunk passes that Ben Roethlisberger does, it ain't going to work, man. It's over for him, man. It's his swan song. He's Betty White of football right now. He's dead.
Man, that was so low, bro.
Hey, you can't mess with Betty White, man.
You can't.
That's my girl, man. You already know. Thank you for being a friend. You already know. But I gotta keep it real when it comes to my boy. He's dead. He's done in the NFL. Yo, let him go. You need to bring back Le'Veon and the real AB for this game to be a real challenge.
Yeah. So who's y'all's pick gonna win the Super Bowl though? We know one of them probably gonna be the Cowboys.
He's a bad man in Aaron Rodgers. I mean, what do you mean? Who gonna win the Super Bowl? I mean, the best quarterback that's laced up this year. Who should be the back-to-back MVP? The quarterback who makes plays down there in the NFC North. The one that is carrying the team, throwing the football to Devontae Adams, Scanlon. You have Aaron Jones in the backfield. This defense at times can play good. They have a coach in Matt LaFleur who's going to coach a lot better this playoff this year. He ain't going to be afraid to run his quarterback in key moments. He's not going to be afraid to let them go on 4th and goal to win a game. The Green Bay Packers will win the Super Bowl, and it will be time to give Aaron Rodgers the regular season MVP and the Super Bowl MVP because he's a bad man.
If he was a bad man, he would have won a lot more Super Bowls than just the one Super Bowl he has already won because he gets to that NFC Championship game and somehow that team just activates and gets worse, and the other team rolls all over him.
Yeah, he didn't even have to worry about Tom Brady for all those years in the NFC, so I'm not trying to hear that nonsense right now.
I can't.
Sean, go ahead, bro. What you think?
I
Sean?
Go ahead,
can't
Sean.
tell that this man has played. His defense have let up on him from year after year after year. This year, different.
I actually believe that the Packers will also be in a Super Bowl. I think that the Chiefs will be right along with them. Unfortunately,
Oh, Sean,
I
let me
love
ask you a
the
question.
Chiefs.
This is how I picture it too. Daddy versus son. Everybody put, Mahomes in that Rodgers standpoint. They compare him a lot. So you talk about the daddy gonna get a son a whipping? I like your thinking. I like your thinking.
I really like a Packers and Chiefs matchup, but I'd even more like a Packers and Bills matchup. I just don't know if the Bills will be able to beat the Chiefs and the firepower they have. The Bills losing Tre'Davious White's going to hurt them down here in the playoffs with if they end up playing a Tyreek. I mean, obviously this week it's not going to hurt too bad with Jacoby Myers as the best receiver. That ain't going to hurt too bad. But when they get to these other teams that have elite receivers, that's going to hurt. I just think that the Chiefs caught, like I said, the Chiefs caught fire at the right time, and the Packers have been on fire. I believe they got Car Alexander back. I'm not 100% certain. I believe he came back. I believe he'll be back. So,
and Sean Ballinari, whatever you say his name, he looked good the other day.
Yeah, it's
Greg, get on this show. I'm tired of this talk, man. I'm about to send you to say some blasphemy like that. Mahomes is more clutch than Rodgers. Oh, please.
So,
in what world?
I actually kind of agree with half of what you're saying, Sean.
Of course
I'm going to go with the Cowboys and the Bills to be in the Super Bowl. I feel as though with the Cowboys, start off with them, I think that they have an easier gauntlet. I think that being able to get through San Francisco first is going to be able to give them momentum. I think at that point they would face whoever would win. I guess not. Well, the Packers would face a lower seed, so we're probably going to be facing either Tampa or the higher seed out of the Rams and Cardinals. I don't see the Cardinals getting anywhere. So I think for us to be able to go San Francisco, Tom Brady, I don't think he's going to be. I'm not really worried about the Bucs this year. I think we can go ahead and sneak past Aaron Rodgers, man, coming out the NFC. As far as the Bills, man, like the reason why, and I think the biggest thing nobody's really mentioned with the Chiefs this year, it's really, really hard to go 3 times in a row to the Super Bowl. It's not something that's been done, a lot in the NFL history. I think the only team that's done it was the Bills. I think what 91, 92, 93 or something like that, or was it 4? It was 4 straight years, right? It's 4 straight years they went to the Super Bowl. It's not something that's done, a lot. It's never done. So that's a lot for another team to ask. I think we're not really focused on what the injury with Tyreek Hill has been over the past couple of weeks. We've noticed that he's been hobbled a lot. They are missing their top running back. I don't know if that injury that if that injury Travis Kelce had at the end of the game is going to be severe. Said something about more ribs. It's a lot going for against Kansas City right now for what they have to overcome. And I just think, man, Josh Allen, man, that's a bad man. That's a bad. I mean, I'm not trying to take Aaron Rodgers' slogan name, but that boy Josh Allen, man. And we haven't really seen Stephon Diggs have a great typical Stephon Diggs game. And what better way to come out and prove it in the playoffs? I think they're gonna run over it, New England, and I think that game's gonna be over before it's even started. And I think they got it, man. It's gonna be a good old '90s Super Bowl win for the Cowboys.
I look at it this way too. You're talking about Buffalo and all that. Why don't teams mirror what the Jaguars did to Buffalo? I mean, Buffalo tore Josh Allen down, Diggs down. Diggs didn't do nothing in that game. I mean, they blitzed out of them. And I have a feeling that Belichick's going to watch that.
I need you to sit there and say that again and be confident. Mirror what the Jaguars did.
I'm confident because Jaguars tore them up.
I don't think any sports reporter has ever said in history, mirror the Jaguars.
Hey, Jaguars matched up pretty good with Buffalo. They shut down their best wide receiver. They shut down the quarterback. They had him on his back the whole entire game, just about. I mean, Josh Allen. The interception by Josh Allen from Josh Allen. No, first time in the NFL that Josh Allen threw an interception to a Josh Allen. So, I mean, still, if you do what the Jaguars did to Buffalo, and I guarantee you Belichick's probably going to go back and look at that film and try to get some kind of defense like that to shut him down again. And if Josh Allen gets shut down again like that, then, New England could win the game.
Can we talk about these coaches, please? Because I'm ready to go.
All right, we're moving on to the coaches.
Thank
you. All right, so the Giants coach got fired. You're mad about it. So why don't you go ahead and step on the floor, Freddie, and tell me why it was a mistake by the Giants organization to fire Joe Judge.
So I was one of the guys on this show wanting somebody fired all year long from the Giants. All year long. And there was Dave Gettleman. I wanted him out. He didn't deserve to be in New York any longer. He promised us an offensive line. He didn't get that. What did he do? He paid top dollar for Kenny Golladay, who did not score a touchdown this year. Not one. 0. But you fire a coach in Joe Judge. A coach who do not believe in putting up with BS. A coach who's not afraid. A coach who set the culture. It's the Giants' way.
He set a losing culture.
And you fire him. Without you, the Mara family. Mara, you got to go too. You did not give him the proper pieces to be successful in New York. You mean to tell me you expected him to win football games with his running back going down and Saquon Barkley? You expected him to win football games with this crappy offensive line. You expected that?
Andre?
It's
Hello?
time for him.
I guess I'm the only one live right now. Everybody's frozen here. I don't know what happened there. So, I'm the only one live right now. So they were talking about Joe Judge getting fired. Dave Elliman he retired.
You hear me talking?
So hopefully we get everybody back on here. Let's see if I can get them, put them back up here and see if they come back alive.
Yeah, I'm good.
Momentarily here. So we're talking about the NFL coach.
Can y'all hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay, Ray's having some technical difficulties. We want you out of here, Mr. Mara. Your time in New York needs to be up. Then everybody want to jump on Daniel Jones. Oh, the Giants got a bad quarterback. They made a mistake. They should have took Haskins. What position have we put Daniel Jones in? We have not put him in a great situation. We will not protect him with that offensive line. I'm tired of it, man. You gotta go. New York is tired of you. You gotta go.
Sean, you gonna handle my light work, or you want me to do it?
I do partially agree that they should pretty much just do a complete reboot of that entire franchise. Everybody should go, including Joe Judge. He should be gone. I said yesterday when he didn't get fired, I said, you fire Brian Flores, the Dolphins, but the Dolphins fired Brian Flores, but Joe Judge keeps his job. I said there's just no possible way. So, yeah, I mean, I just think that franchise is just so many holes, so far off of everything. You just have to completely reboot everything. So I do agree with Joe Judge.
There's only 2 problems. Only 2. Joe Judge was not one of them.
I mean, unfortunately, when teams lose that badly all the time, the coaches
who's got to go? Answer that, Sean. Thank you for saying it. When you lose that badly, who goes?
The coach. The coach always goes first.
But Dre,
the coach always goes
not
first.
After 2 years, they don't go that quick. Because when they signed Daniel Jones,
this is year 3, right? This is year 3.
This is year 2.
No, this is year 3 with him.
No, he's only been there for 2 years. He's only been there for 2 years.
Last year was his first year. You're right.
When you got Joe Judge, you should have known in 2 years with the personnel that you have gotten him, He was not able to turn this team around. They had to completely rebuild that offensive line for them to be successful. Then you can judge Daniel Jones. Then you can judge Joe Judge.
No.
100%.
No, no, you're wrong. You can't sit there and act the way that you. So let me ask you a question, right? So let's compare two coaches, for example. Okay, like let's do this. Okay, let's take Dan Campbell. We'll take Dan Campbell as an example of the coach, and we'll take Joe Judge. Now, we all were sitting around there, and everybody on this panel right now can sit there and admit they were laughing at Dan Campbell in the beginning of the season. We're talking about biting ankles and biting kneecaps, right? That's what he was quoted for saying in his press conference, right? Now let's look at that culture in Detroit, who's a losing culture as a franchise in football. They're historical losers. We're talking like we at one point in time we think that franchise isn't going to win a game some seasons. We take that franchise and we look at the way the Detroit Lions are feeling at the end of that season this year. They had more momentum as an organization going into the season next year than the Giants have for the next 5 years. That Giants organization needs to be first, like I said, I agree with you. That whole organization.
But Drake, you just sat up here and said how this personnel is horrible.
Fred, let me finish real quick. Let me finish. I'll let you go. You can't sit there and have your head of your team being Joe Judge, and you can't have him, barking and not having no bite. Right. You sitting there having all this bark, but not showing any results, man. At the end of the day, of course, injuries happen to Daniel Jones. Of course, injuries happen to Saquon Barkley. But let's not forget that you signed Kenny Galloway and you signed the first round draft pick, Devarius Tony or whatever, the wide receiver, and neither one of them got 1,000 yards this year. Neither one of them did anything.
And neither one of them got a touchdown.
Well, I'm sorry, what?
And neither one of them got a touchdown this year.
So don't you think that somebody's head got to get chopped off at that point?
Yes,
when you're
and it starts in the front office. It starts with Dave Gettleman, and then Mr.
It starts at the head coach, bro. That head coach should have been able to handle that situation.
No, hell no. Because guess what? In the game of football, Dre, I don't know if you play, but in the game of football, if that offensive line is not solid, guess what? Nobody's gonna be solid on offense. Nobody.
But you know what? Even if it's sports, if I played football, if I played basketball, if I played baseball, if I got my leader sitting out there and I don't got faith in him, I'm not going to go 100%.
You can have the leadership all day long.
He lost that team, bro.
You can have the most leadership in the world if you still won't win football.
No, you can't. When it comes down to football, these guys will go 100 miles an hour for Dan Campbell. These guys wouldn't even hold a door for Joe Judge.
You can see it on the
end of the day. You can have the most leadership in the world. You can have the best leaders. Hell, you can have Tom Brady. You can have LeBron James. You can have Chris Paul. It don't matter about no leadership. If that line's not there to block, hey, you can't make things happen. Dave Gettleman, I'm glad. Praise the Lord. Hallelujah. I'm glad he's out of New York. You guys remember his press conference when he got down there. Oh, the last regime did a good job by getting the Giants the offensive line. And he still couldn't fix that. He couldn't fix it. I'm glad he out. They will regret the day they have let Joe Judge go.
Especially now.
Sean, let me ask you a question real quick, man. Since I'm gonna help out Ray since he's having a little technical difficulties, I'll moderate a little bit. Let me ask you this real quick, Sean. With all the vacancies that we got going on right now in the NFL, what do you think is the most appealing vacancy open?
Dolphins. I'd say the Dolphins probably. They were on an 8-game win streak, and they have. I'm not a huge fan of Tua, but he's proved he can win games. They have Waddle. They have some weapons. They have a great defense. We've seen they can rip off some wins. I mean, I still don't agree with Flores getting fired, but I understand he butted with the higher ups, so that is a lot of the reason why he's gone. But yeah, I would say the Dolphins.
You heard about the whole he wanted Justin Herbert,
right?
They went after Tua today, or they went after Tua.
Imagine if they had Justin Herbert instead.
Could you imagine? And I said this when Tua was in college. I think Tua is a bust. He's not going to be a good quarterback. That he's too injury prone, and he's not. He had 4 good games at Alabama, and not even that. If you go back, when was the last time Alabama had a winning quarterback in the NFL?
It's not. It's really none. There's not many.
Exactly. He doesn't show the work. He doesn't show the work in the NFL that he's going to be able to or he didn't show the work in college to be able to translate in the NFL. He's too little.
Yeah, and I'm just not a huge fan of Tua. I don't think he's like the worst quarterback to ever play.
No,
but I don't. You're never going to win anything significant with him at quarterback. He may make me.
I'll be honest with you,
but I don't think so.
I'll be honest with you. Comparison, like let's do the comparison between him and Jalen Hurts. I take Jalen Hurts every day of the week. Over I take Tua.
Not even close.
I'm gonna say this. The Dolphins are done. The Dolphins are done just for this reason. Deshaun Watson wanted to go down there in Miami because of the coach. You fire him. I wonder what Deshaun Watson doing. Well, because I believe the coach is going to get it. I believe he will get another job in this cycle. In this coaching cycle this year, he will be the head coach again. He's probably like this. You know what? Let me wait before I say I want to go. Let me see where he's going to sign up as a head coach, and then you know what? He's going to go there, probably more than likely.
You know what I got a feeling he's waiting for?
Huh?
I think you know what I got a feeling he's waiting for? I think he's waiting to figure out where Aaron Rodgers goes. Not a lot of people. Miami. You said what happened?
Maybe Aaron Rodgers could possibly go to Miami. Obviously,
I'm gonna tell you where Aaron Rodgers is going. Aaron Rodgers he's looking at the San Francisco teams. You know what?
I just hope he doesn't go to the Steelers.
I'm from down there.
I hope he doesn't go to the Steelers either, man.
Oh, could you imagine? But listen, the most attractive spot is New York. The historical franchise that the Giants do have. With hey, it is what it is. Big market. Hey, not afraid to spend money. If only thing you have to worry about is if the Morris will allow you to do the football operations down there. The Giants is still an attractive place to go to, and I would not mind him being our head coach. I would actually like that. I wouldn't mind Eric Bieniemy, how you say his name, being our head coach. I wouldn't mind the offensive coordinator for the Bucks being our head coach. Just do not bring in no scrub. This time, the Giants, this next coach that you get, it must be a solid. You can't go blank. You can't go through another year or two experiment as a head coach.
Bring back the Clapper. Bring back the Clapper.
I know you miss him. I know you miss him big time.
What about Kellen Moore as a head coach?
Who?
Kellen Moore.
I really don't like Kellen Moore, man.
He ain't going nowhere yet. He definitely wouldn't. He definitely wouldn't leave Dallas to go to the Giants.
Nobody thought Jason Garrett to go to the Giants neither, by the way. But let me carry on. Kellen Moore, he still needs to learn, man, because there's times with that Dallas offense that they got so much weapons that they stall out at times. They stall out. Dak struggles at times. That they don't run the ball enough at times. I mean, he got to learn how to balance it. I'm not sure he's all the way there when it comes to balancing the offense in the NFL.
You guys are forgetting the one of the most attractive spots that's actually available now. That's the Denver Broncos. The Denver Broncos are a quarterback away from being legitimate contenders. I mean, you see they've won games this year that they should have had no reason of winning. And if they had a quarterback, they could honestly probably win 4 or 5 more games. Teddy Bridgewater was a Band-Aid for the team. Drew Lock is a joke. He shouldn't even be in the NFL. They were even in talks of last year of bringing in Aaron Rodgers during last year. So if that's still a possibility, they can bring in a Deshaun Watson. They can bring in a Russell Wilson. There are going to be quarterbacks that are going to be available. They have a legitimate shot at being a great franchise, a great organization for a new coach to come in there. Brian Flores, their team's already stacked on defense. So could you imagine what Brian Flores can even do with Patrick Surtain and the rest of those weapons on defense? They're already set on. They've got 2 decent wide receivers, Cortland Sutton it's the Denver Broncos. They've been able to run since Terrell Davis was in Denver. So running is not an issue with that team. I just feel as though that at all the other teams, you've got so many different what ifs. You've got what ifs with the Dolphins. You don't know what kind of quarterback situation you're, or the situation there. You don't know what's going on in with Minnesota. You don't know what Kirk Cousins is coming back. There's so many. The Bears. I'm be honest with you, the Bears. I think that's probably one of the worst organizations to go to. You mortgage the franchise on Justin Fields. You don't have a first round draft pick this year, and your offensive line is still trash. So it's got to be, in my opinion, the Broncos. Man, they're the team out of all the other teams that's set up to win now, and they're just
the
one
Giants
piece
team's
away.
where they win now.
Are you what?
You heard me.
The Giants are set up to win now.
If the Giants this year go address that offensive line, I really do believe this, that Russell Wilson will be a Giant. Sierra wants to go somewhere big. It's either the West Coast, they have quarterbacks. It's ours, New York. I will believe he'll be a New York Giants. We have the weapons. We have more weapons than they do down there in Seattle. Our defense is pretty solid. I know you don't want to see it because you're a Cowboy fan,
it's
but
not
it's
even
coming.
that. It's not even that. I don't see Russell Wilson leaving a situation that's literally worse than what it is now. That offensive line in Seattle is terrible.
No.
Yes, it is. That offensive line. Russell Wilson's been running for his life for the past 2 years. He's going to go to New York and have the same thing.
Barkley?
You said what?
Do they have a Saquon Barkley down there?
No, they got a Rashard Perry who led the league in rushing since he came in the league this year.
Chris Carson.
So he's better than Saquon?
I take Perry with Saquon's health. I'm taking Perry all day.
Okay. Saquon gonna tell you you're wrong.
Saquon's told me ever since he came in the league that he can't be counted on. I need somebody that's going to be able to show up.
But it wasn't his fault
every day.
But it wasn't his fault though. It wasn't Saquon's
I'm not saying it's fault. Injuries happen, but I have to go.
No, it's the Giants' fault by not protecting Saquon.
Oh my god.
That's facts.
It's not facts, man.
Son, so if you don't protect your players, they'll get hurt eventually, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Eventually.
But it's your job as Joe Judge to build that team to protect them, right, Sean?
Well,
So
that's the GM's job to build the team.
Right, which is why they should just start from the top all the way down. Everybody goes. I mean, I'm okay with keeping Daniel Jones, honestly. I mean, he's still on his rookie deal, right?
Yeah, I love Daniel Jones.
Daniel Jones. They have good receivers. I don't know about Saquon anymore. They may need a running back. I mean, Saquon's obviously there, but with his health, they might need to draft a running back second, third round, and they can build their defense in free agency. They have some money, so they have some pieces, but they have to get a perfect coach in place for that team to be any type of successful.
Running backs come a dime a dozen. You get a running back in the 5th round this year. There are tons of running backs. I like the guy with the Kenneth Green from Michigan State. He'd be perfect in that team.
Man, I know we're not talking NBA right now, but boy, this trade talk is heating up. NBA Central just said that the Philadelphia 76ers are looking to package Tobias Harris with Ben Simmons in trade talks. Woo!
I've got 80 million reasons why that will not happen.
I don't know. You know what? Hey, Lakers.
There's nobody at stake. I live outside of Philly. I go to games. There's nobody that's going to take on that Tobias Harris contract. He's literally the most overplayed player in basketball.
You know what? I'll take him.
If you want to sit there and pay somebody $80 million to be able to sit there and give you 12, 4, and 2, by all means, you could have that.
Hey, I'll take him. If I can get Russ off my hand, you can have him.
Here's the reason. As far as the trade deadline that's going on, you got to look at the teams that are or a piece or two away from being in contention or needing. They're just missing something. There's a couple players out there right now that could help out. Let's say the Lakers, for example, right? There's Terrence Ross from Orlando Magic. Great person to come off the bench. He, the Human Torch. He's going to be able to give you 20 points off the bench. The Lakers he's a over 35%, 40% 3-point shooter. Perfect guy. He's on a losing team in Orlando that can get easily traded off for some low draft stock. The Indiana Pacers. That's one team that's unloading the whole franchise. There's talks about Sabonis being once out. He wants to be a focal point. Miles Turner said he wants to be a focal point on the team. To piggyback on the whole Sixers situation, they're interested in packaging something as far as Ben Simmons and Tobias Harris for LeVert, which I think is asinine. I would never package all that for Kentavious LeVert. That's just way too much.
Just him? Nothing else?
Yeah, exactly. That's way too.
You're going to want insane value for trading those two players, and you're going to need somebody to, like you said, to take on them salaries. The Ben Simmons thing is just still insane to me.
It is.
It's just completely insane to me. But I don't know what's going to happen with Ben Simmons, but there's no way they're trading both of them. There's no team's going to do that for they're going to want a insane superstar player.
Are we sure? I mean,
no, it's the NBA.
I mean, contractually, the only people that can really match up as far as that's concerned, contract wise, is what? Maybe CJ McCollum, but you don't that doesn't work, man.
And the Blazers are another team I feel like they're only about a piece away from being able to actually contend with these teams in the West. So to me, they would be one of the type of people that will be trying to get a different player. I'll say this.
I look at a team like Sacramento, who has been desperate for years, that have not been able to attract anybody down there. I wouldn't be surprised if, you know what? Hey, Tobias Harris, he was an all-star once upon a time. Hey, we still believe without him, we can make him like a second option. All right, we'll trade for him. We know what Ben brings to the table. I wouldn't be surprised like a team like that, or the Detroit Pistons, who haven't been relevant in years, man. You got to think about, there's some teams that has not been relevant in a long, long time. You mean to tell me I'm New Orleans? Hey, we've already heard about this talk. Zion won't up out of here. That I wouldn't find a way to get him up out of here to get a piece like that in there. I mean, there's a few teams that I think that would think about pulling the trigger on that.
I've always loved the trade deadline. Is always interesting because you don't see too much going on as far as trades are concerned. I'm more interested in the buyout market. The buyout market is where you go ahead and you see these.
That's where we live to party.
Yeah, you're Lakers. Y'all live for the buyout market. Y'all live there. You guys will go ahead and sign somebody for $17 and some food stamps, and they'll be in there starting for the rest of the season.
Kevin Love next. Kevin Love on his way.
LeBron another three-pointer in there.
You know what? If Cleveland wasn't as successful as they are this year, that would be the perfect buyout candidate.
I think he's still getting bought out.
I don't think he's going to get bought out now. That team's been too successful this year for them.
You know why I think he'll get bought out? Because we've seen it many times where teams start, getting them veterans out of there, them old heads, so the young guys can have more minutes, getting ready so they can develop. Cleveland knows
but they don't want to mess with that nucleus, what they got going on right now. They've got guard.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, you got to know, okay, we're not winning no championship. We're not winning a round in the playoffs. Let's go ahead and, let's get more time for our young guys.
No, you're right. I definitely think they've got, especially with the guy Evan Mobley out there. He's a stud, man. Potential rookie of the year. He's not going to be Franz Wagner for rookie of the year, but he's definitely balling out there in Cleveland right now.
What do you guys think the odds of Russ getting traded are, Russell Westbrook? You think there's any chance?
If they're smart, they would, but they're not.
Who?
They never signed him. Russell Westbrook.
Man, listen here, bro.
Now, Sean, you're new to this. Now, any disregard to the Lakers is slander in Fred's world.
I don't mind the Lakers.
Listen,
you just have to be prepared. Anything negative, it's going to be considered slander.
They should have got
Russell Westbrook fooled LeBron James, Anthony Davis, and the Lakers. He put up all these sexy numbers, all these triple doubles. But they forgot about all the turnovers. They forgot how poorly he shoot the ball. They forgot about that low IQ. But at the end of the day, LeBron James is the GOAT. He'll find a way to make it work.
Yep.
When this is LeBron James, this is who he is. This is what he do. He take nobodies and make them look like all-stars. And if he can do that with nobodies, he can do that with Russell Westbrook.
Yeah, the difference is
This
with those
is the
nobodies that he had.
healthiest we've been all year, Dre. The healthiest we've been. And AD back on the way. Kendrick Nunn is on the way. Then we'll be complete. Remember this, my brother. Remember this. And this is what I try to tell a lot of people. I told Jay at the beginning of the season about his Cardinals. I said, Jay, it's not how you start a season. It's how you finish. And what's happened to the Cardinals? I told him about the Suns. We're going to see. This Lakers team, we was horrible at the beginning of the start of the season. We started off bad. We carried on bad. But let's not sit up here and act like we did not come in the season with 3 to 4 guys already banged up. Let's not act like LeBron James didn't miss 11 games due to injury. Let's not act like when he came back, he got suspended for a game. Let's not act like he had to miss a game because of the fake COVID situation. Let's not act like as soon as he get back, we had 7 guys leave for COVID. Let's not act like when they come back, AD gone. It was just a matter of time. Let's not act like this Laker team has been complete all year. So when we see them 100% complete, that's when we can judge them. We on our way.
Okay. Should I get them, Sean, or you want me to go?
I just wanted to get back to the just real one thing about the Russell Westbrook thing. The reason why I did a little bit like Russ to the Lakers was because later he can take some of the slack off LeBron having to be the playmaker all the time. Yeah. That's what he can do. So he has LeBron having fresher legs toward the playoff. I do think they can be okay in the playoffs. I don't think they're beating the Suns or Jazz or
Hold on, Sean. Let me write my name. I got a list, a doubter list that doubts the Lakers. I'm gonna write your name, bro.
I like LeBron. I don't mind the Lakers, man. I'm a Chris Paul fan, but I wouldn't say I'm a Suns fan, but I root for Chris Paul. Other than that, I just like basketball. I don't have it.
Hey, it's all right. I just got you on my list though. Dre already on that list.
That's fine.
So all the things that you said that they the health and this and blah 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 doesn't account for the fact that Russell Westbrook can't shoot to save his life. It doesn't account for the fact that I've said this repeatedly, and I need you to look at me in my eye when I tell you this, Fred. Anthony Davis is the softest big man in the league. He's softer than Golden Corral custard. Okay? That man, anything that puts weight on him, he folds. He's supposed to be the reason why LeBron's supposed to be second tier or the second ball handler on the team. There's no reason why Anthony Davis is not being able to take over that team. The reason why the Lakers are the way they are is because they get game checks and social security checks. They're old. They're not built for this long run, and they're not going to be able to be in contention. And when it comes down to the playoffs,
Dre, let me ask you a
they're not going to be relevant.
Dre, let me ask you a
They'll
question.
be one and done. They're done.
Dre, when was the last time a young team won a championship?
You said what happened?
When was the last time a young team won an NBA championship?
Last year.
Last year.
Weren't super old.
Last year.
How old is Giannis?
Last year.
How old is Giannis?
I mean, what?
Giannis is not even 27 yet.
Look it up. Go look it up. How old he is.
That team's still young.
Go look up how old Giannis Antetokounmpo is.
You said what happened?
I looked up how old Giannis Antetokounmpo is.
How old is he? He's what?
I believe he's 27.
He's not 30.
27 is not young.
27 is young in the NBA. He's in the prime of his career.
Okay. How old was Michael Jordan when he won his first championship, Dre?
Come on, man. Don't do that.
No. I'm asking you a question.
Don't be that guy.
How old was Michael Jordan?
Don't be that guy.
How old was Michael Jordan?
27, 20.
How old was Bron?
But you're arguing in comparison right now.
How old was Bron?
I don't remember.
27.
LeBron was what?
How old was Shaq?
I'm getting the memo at this point.
Okay. Young teams do not win championships, Dre.
But who's
That's
saying
what
that 27 is still young though, bro? Yes, it is. 20.
if you average out the Lakers' age, it went down. If you watch the game, we've implemented a lot of our young pieces to our team of late. I don't know if you noticed that. Who? A 25-year-old Stanley Johnson, a 22, 23-year-old THT, 25-year-old
The
Malik
only reason why
Monk.
they're doing that is because they have to, because everybody's on COVID, bro.
No,
No. You act like
this will be our regular rotation. What are you talking
So
about,
you mean
Dre?
to tell me Jalen
Everybody's
Johnson's
out
going
of
to be in your
COVID.
regular rotation?
Everybody's out of COVID, Dre.
So Jalen Johnson's going to be a part of that playoff rotation.
Yes.
Sit there and tell me.
Yes, he's a great defensive
you're
player.
stating
Yes,
the reasons why they won't last.
they are
If
great.
you're sitting there thinking Jalen Johnson's going to be a factor,
And then you got Austin Reeves, who's 19, 20 years old, who plays really great basketball. You got Kendrick Nunn on the way. That's 5 young pieces right there. And hell, LeBron James look like he playing like he 24.
Man, if you think Hillbilly Kobe's going to be a real factor, you tripping. Bro.
Hey, people didn't think Alex Caruso was, but guess what? He was.
Because he's a decent player.
And Hillbilly Kobe is a decent player in Austin Reeves. Just know this. Your day's coming. And when your day's here, we're going to do a live play-by-play of game 6. We ain't going no game 7. Game 6. Me and you.
I can't wait.
And I'm going to let you do all the talking. All I'm going to do is sit there like this.
I cannot wait.
But gentlemen, this was a great episode of Keeping It Real. You know, even though I was mad and angry about my Giants, I'm going to get over that, I hope. Sean, I want to thank you for making your debut tonight on the
sir. Thanks for having me.
Network. I want to thank you for coming on. Hope to see you on a lot more shows.
Yes, sir.
We'll get you rolling. Dre, I'm glad that you was able to come on where I can educate you, put you in your place, school you, do what I do.
This guy. Listen, I got to straight you straight every Thursday, man. So it ain't about nothing. Tuesday, Thursdays, check us out. Real talk. I got to come set you straight. Sean, I'm glad to have you part of the team, man. Man, great show, guys.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate it, boys. Thank you. Nice to meet you.
No problem, Sean. Hey, and this is the one and only, the wonderful, the great, the good-looking at that, ladies. Freddie Henderson is your moderator, is your host. Shout out to my dude Ray. I'll be back next time. You guys have a great night.
All right, boys.
All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. 365, we making up plays. You talking the game, get you to the days. We're high in the court, the dime in the lane. Variety, topics, living the same. All presentation, sports information. In the airways, taking the nation. All sport, all plays, like working your faces. Grace at the field, so tie the laces. All sports, all plays.